for candidate Ricks-Oddie.
Thank you all. And just as a reminder, in terms of the requests to make sure that the applause are held until the end of our session. And trust me, I'm a much better tackler than my co-moderator. I trained him. All right, we'll review the format very quickly. Absolutely. And since you're the only one, we're glad to have the opportunity to get to know you. You'll have 1 minute opening statement. Then we'll ask a few questions with a 1 minute opportunity for you to respond. And then you'll also make a 1 minute closing statement. And we also have CJ Harmatz holding up the cards to give us the time warnings as we move forward. Thank you so much.
Oh, what does yellow and red mean again?
15 seconds left for yellow, and then red, time is up.
Okay, understood.
Please begin with your 1 minute opening statement.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Joni Ricks-Oddie, and I'm proud to be with you today as a candidate for Long Beach City Council District 9. Over the past decade, I have been hard at work in the 9th District, helping to deliver the uptown renaissance that you see today in North Long Beach. I serve on my local neighborhood association board, business improvement district, and on countless city nonprofits. I currently serve as the chair of the Long Beach Planning Commission, where I have had direct impact and vote in bringing new businesses, affordable housing, and economic drivers to my community. Our 9th District community deserves someone who is going to be ready on day one. Someone who will actively and passionately advocate for our community and put an equity lens on things that would serve to disenfranchise us. Someone who not only shares the community's concerns about homelessness, public safety, and the environment, but has a demonstrated track record of success. The issues we are facing are not unique, but my experience as a public health professional will bring a unique lens to how we face those issues. As a mother of 2 young children, I have an 18-month-old and a 4-year-old. I want to ensure that they are growing up in a community that they can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ricks-Oddie. We'll start with the first question. At Leadership Long Beach, we believe in a set of principles that are essential to all great leaders. On the screen behind you is a list of those principles that we embrace. Please select one that resonates with you and tell us why.
I was thinking about this question as the other folks were speaking, and I'm going to choose respect. You know, one of the things that I've thought over the last couple of years that I'd hoped would have come out of the pandemic is for us to have been better caretakers of one another and show each other the respect I think that we all deserve, recognizing that you never know what people's background or experiences are. I think unfortunately, a lot of the rhetoric that goes on in politics has been filled with negativity and vitriol. And one of the things that I think that we've been successful at in the 9th District as community leaders, along with our electeds, is even though we may not necessarily always agree on the decisions that are made, we all have a shared vision moving forward, and we respectfully converse with one another and discuss those issues so that we can move in one shared direction, and that is the direction that is the Uptown Renaissance.
Thanks, Ms. Ricks-Oddie. Let's move on to question number 2. Let's start, and here's that question. Name a leader, living or not, you admire, and tell us why.
So the leader I'm going to pick, he has since passed away, is my grandfather. My grandfather was actually an elected official back home in the city of Chicago. And the thing that I really resonated with me about my grandfather was that anytime he was a commissioner, and anytime I would talk to anyone who worked underneath my grandfather, they would talk about how his ear, the fact that he would always listen. They could always tell that he didn't necessarily always have an answer for exactly what their issue was, but they knew that he heard them, that he was listening to them. He understood their issues, right? They felt heard. And I think that that's what our community wants. They want to be heard, right? Even if you don't necessarily always have an answer for them right then and there, the fact that you are actively listening to their issues, compassionate and understanding is what people want, because they want someone who resonates with them and understands that their lived experience is important when it comes to the decision making that we're making here in the city.
Thank you for your response. Our next question is, what will you do to attract and retain businesses in the 9th District?
I think we've actually done some things already. So one of the things that we have worked on, and this is something that I've done as part of the Planning Commission, is something called U-Plan or UP-Plan, which is the Uptown Planning, Land Use, and Neighborhood Strategy. So this has been a community effort along with our development services to rezone the major corridors in North Long Beach. One of the challenges that we've had over the last several decades is that our zoning is outdated, and therefore with zoning in uses like, nuisance, like liquor stores and nuisance hotels and things that did not serve our community. Through U-Plan, the community did a re-envisioning process where we talked about what are the things that we want to zone out so we can zone in the things that we want. An example of that is that we had a 99-cent store on Atlantic Avenue that for a long time we could not lease. And once we rezoned that area, we were able to have a health clinic came in that we would normally have not been able to have under the old zoning. And so there's lots of opportunities from a structural standpoint for us to really bring those types of vision and those types of businesses to the community.
Thank you for your response. I know you saw that red card that was up, but fear not. You still have the microphone, and it's time for your 1-minute closing statement.
I just want to thank you all this evening for being here. I feel like it's a labor of love, and so this is something I want to thank Leisure Long Beach for. It's a labor of love to put on these types of forums, and I just thank you all for being here because you're folks that care, and you care about the trajectory of our city. The reason I'm running is, I always tell people, I have a full-time job, I have small children. I am not running because of self-aggrandizement or because I have a sense of self. I am running because I feel like I can be a passionate advocate for my community, and I've lived here for a decade and I've been doing the work. And I want to take that experience that I've had sitting on neighborhood association boards, nonprofits, our Uptown Business Improvement District, the Planning Commission, and take that experience to City Council so that I can effectively advocate for my community and make sure that we are bringing the resources that we deserve in the 9th District. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ricks-Oddie. Thank you. And that concludes our section on Council District 9. Thank you for your time. We thank everyone for your time and support and attention. We're taking a short break. However, please do stick around for the Mayor's Forum coming up promptly in, looking at Mr. Glaza, 10 minutes? No, got it, 10 minutes. Thank you.
It's freezing. I know, that was just about to say, it's really cold.
It didn't get any colder in here? I thought about wearing long sleeves, but.
Way to go, CJ. Good luck, Suzie.
Thank you, sir. Anything you guys need us to do?
Just behave.
Behave? I'll try.
You know it.
Yes.
It is, but. Right.
So,
More time. More fun.
Hi.